the light that's looking through your eyes as you watch this. That same light, that same awareness is within all of us. And when we understand that that's the basis, our attention is our connection to our soul essence. Naturally, we'll be conscious of where we place our focus. I'm not talking about ego-driven attention, saying that this deserves my attention and that doesn't. I'm going to respond to this and not that, as if I'm separate. Because when we choose awareness and when we sit in the presence, over time we become purified and edified to the point where worldly temptation loses its flavor. Say you're sitting under a tree and somebody's sitting across from you in another tree, under another tree, and you're sitting there, you're choosing awareness, you're sitting in a loving presence in this moment, giving thanks now for the joy of existence, for the joy of life. You feel that expanded connectedness with creation all around you, that state of illumination when sufficient barriers have been dropped, when there's no internal resistance left, resistance to life, because you're completely surrendered to this moment now. You're not trying to get anything out of it. You realize that this is it, this is eternity, and you're sitting in that joy, lovingly aware. And you could sit there drunk in nature for the rest of your life. And I'm not talking about drunk on alcohol. I'm talking about drunk on life. Because you feel that connection with your soul essence, your awareness. Because you haven't sold it into the world. Nobody can bribe you out of it. And that person across from you, say they're sitting uncomfortably. It's the first time that they've really sat under a tree in a long time, that they've tried to sit in that joy out in nature, which can be in your house, wherever it is. And they're sitting there and they feel discomfort, right? Because they haven't taken the time to simply sit and enjoy the present moment and give thanks for life as it is now, for their expression of life, to give thanks for the gift of life as it's beating their heart. And a program, a thought arises in consciousness saying, you know, when we're uncomfortable, maybe if we eat a big tub of ice cream, that'll make us feel better. And so what do? They get up. Instead of sitting in the silence, they obey that program, and thus they're run by it. And they get up and go to the supermarket and they buy that big tub of ice cream. And at that precise moment, when they got up and they went to the supermarket, when that thought arose in consciousness and they obeyed it, at that moment, their soul is owned by a conglomerate. And I think about that. A lot of people don't want to swallow that pill, but it's the truth. Because their attention is engaged in something outside of themselves. As if they weren't complete as they are now. as if fulfillment was found somewhere other than now. So at that moment, that they got up and went to the supermarket, even while they're working, they're at their job to pay for that big tub of ice cream. Their soul is owned by somebody else. And when you value awareness, when you choose awareness, you realize that there's equal pleasure to be found in every circumstance. To the spirit, whether it's a sunny day or a rainy day, it's the same. Because you're lovingly aware anyway.